Your reaction.
Oh! Have you ever heard that before? I was like, oh, so we're professionals here, huh? Oh,
Well, okay, Mick, I'm going to hit. I know we haven't done a warm up, sort of, hey, how's it going? I'm going to hit the intro and we're going to go to the show. Is that okay with you?
Okay.
All right, listen up, Spuds. This is Zap Brannigan, master of time, space, and everything else in between. And, oh, yeah, winner of this year's Modesty Award. You're listening to USUK. What's the difference with Al and Tom? Your one stop for this sort of thing.
Our music's better than the StreamYard music, right?
Testing your speakers on StreamYard. Oh, testing your speakers on StreamYard.
I don't know, man.
Working, yeah.
If something's really stupid and makes you laugh and nearly fall off your chair, I needed a Sal Vulcano there off my chair when I listen to that. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just really, really stupid, right? It's clever and stupid at the same time.
Hey,
we'll rip them off. And
really, really stupid is hardly ever a really bad thing.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Monumentally stupid is also a good thing sometimes.
Hey, because you know what? Lunacy can be some of the highest marks in our society, right?
It's
Absolutely.
True. It's true. Think about the Wright brothers. They're like, hey.
See if I can get you on speaker. Hello?
Hello?
Go ahead and talk.
Hello. Yes,
no, it's not going to work. God damn it.
Okay. Fucking, think about the Wright brothers. And the Wright brothers, you know, were the guys. They were testing their speakers on StreamYard one day, and they flew a fucking plane. And they were loons at the time. Everybody's like, you're crazy. You can't fly a plane.
Yeah, like that. You're crazy. No, it can't be like that. What do you mean it's like that?
By the way, guys,
I'm going
to
force this. Yeah, go on, do it, Tom.
Yeah. By the way, this is What's the Difference podcast. I'm Tom Bruno.
I'm Alex Whiteley. I'm also pissing myself. That's hilarious.
Fucking this week's guest. We've had him on live before, but we always threatened to do like a full-fledged episode.
And you on USUK Chronicles too?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Was I live?
You were live on ours. Like that was.
I was.
Yeah, we're live.
I don't know if I've seen you two together.
I don't. Were we together?
Were you on the show, Tom? You were on the top.
I was on the show. We was on the show.
Since you joined us, Mick, a lot's happened, and we've spoken to a lot of people, and we've developed an awful lot. Because that was very early on into the USUK era, I guess. So, we can say.
So it was early suck.
Yes,
it's early suck. Okay.
Early suck. Yeah,
it was pre-cum USUK is what it was. It was like the beginning.
Pre-suck.
Yeah, pre-suck, which is also known as a date, I guess. I don't know.
We used to suck, but we do not anymore.
No, we don't.
It was first base at best.
Oh, it barely was. It was like well, it was almost second base, like kind of like feeling over the shirt and be like, hey, what's going on right here? Oh shit, is
over
that
the shirt? Over the shirt.
Oh my god.
More like fumbling at the bra strap. It just won't come off.
I got really good at that later on, but like even today, like every so often I'll be trying to I'll be like, fuck you, I'm the Fonz, and I fucking try to fucking work my
break a rib.
You know, us big boys, we use scissors.
Yeah, is that the trick?
You know what? You know what? It's there is no return from that.
There really is. Well,
once you get the scissors out, you're gone. You're there.
Nick, you look like a guy that Zorro's girls' clothes off. You're just like fucking titties just pop out and shit.
That's a Scorsese thing.
It's the beard, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Fucking. And that's how you shave as well. You're just like look in the mirror, you're like, oh, hold on. And fucking, you come out looking the way you do. It's fucking phenomenal.
I've never had to take a bra off.
No. What are bras? What are they?
They come off all by themselves.
Oh shit! Not even the Fonz had that. I think it'd be great. Like, how about like a halfway in between? Like Fonz just walks up to a chick and hits her on the side. Not hard, no physical abuse, but like, gets a little tap, like she's a jukebox, all of a sudden just clothing explodes. I saw this really funny fan theory the other day that Fonz was actually, and not in a negative way, but he was actually a homosexual when he was trying to get with Richie Cunningham that whole time. And that like the girls and all that stuff was just a facade so we could like, drop everybody, because it was back in like the 50s and shit, or the 40s. You mean
Richie Cunningham?
Yes, coming in Fozzie's hands is what.
You know what? Wait, you guys just handed me that. You know that, right?
I did. I really did. It was a slow pitch.
You really, it's really. I like it when I get them handed to me and I don't even have to open the little fuckers.
Or Cunningham,
Cunningham.
Okay, guys. So if you guys don't remember the live episode that we did, this episode we really all started with fucking Keith McCleary, who kind of like had you on a show, and I thought you were fucking amazing. You were so much fun to fucking talk to, and like you happen to have a very fucking excellent career, which happens to fit this month's fucking genre.
That's right. It's October, isn't it?
It is October, or Shocktober as we call it. Shocktober.
Or as we, so you see, October in America is actually getting towards the end of Halloween.
It's true. Like, well, Halloween starts super early nowadays.
Super early. It's sort of like it's a mid-August beginning.
Yes. As a man who has made his career in the fucking, in the Halloween-esque type of fucking like lifestyle, is that a good thing or bad thing?
You know what? Right? I am entirely neutral about it, because you understand that to me it's sort of like an animal. It just happens to me, and I'm like, whoa.
don't let Halloween
your phone start blowing up though. Like as soon as it gets October, people are like ring. No,
yeah. Hello. Okay. Yeah. It's for some reason, not as much this year, as it has been before. I think that people are confused. They've been locked in their houses for so long. They think that it's December.
They're like, what should we call Mick for talking about the Halloween stuff? No. It's Christmas season. Mick's doing
quite like the term,
but you know what is happening is funny. Is I am getting calls for films, and it's like it's been a couple 3 years since that's happened.
Well, that's actually a good kicking off place, Mick. Why don't you tell the kids, if they don't happen to know, what it is you exactly do and where your career kind of like stumbles into my lap, where I'm like, oh my God, fuck, I got to talk to this guy for this exact reason.
Let's see. I got to tell you the truth. I'm getting to an age where if it weren't for IMDb, I would hardly even know what I ever did. But
us either.
Yeah, it's like
IMDb is amazing, right?
Yeah, it's I was a production designer and an effects designer, and I still am. I don't know why I said was. Maybe there's a good chance that I'm dead. You don't know.
I was like, because you're dead, man.
I was talking. It seemed like I was talking to Jeffrey Dahmer.
You are.
Tom.
You're in hell.
Tom Dahmer, as it were.
And I've got a green beard,
which makes you psychotic in your own right.
And he just fucking left.
Well, I can hear you.
Hey, no. I have to tell you this. So this is how I saw how rude that was. It was like, okay, hey, so Mick, why don't you tell everybody what it is you've done? I gotta go.
Well, really, I gotta leave. My presence is so thick. It's like a milkshake, Mick, that I have to leave whenever I ask guest questions, so then you can have.
Okay.
No, I was really trying to be polite.
Absolutely fair. So okay, I was a production designer on Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4, and Leatherface, and I fixed Mortal Kombat. I built the town that I got in an argument recently with Critter Brothers. I built the town of Critters 2.
Yeah.
And I can't think of which Kyoto it was, but I was arguing with him on Facebook because he's kind of a Trumposaurus, and yeah, it's he's malphasant, and and he attacked me kind of out of the blue. I was attacking Trump voters in general, and he attacked me in specific, and I went, oh well, you mean aren't you the little dick that had that blew up my generator? And while I mean, he and his group, the Kyoto Brothers, and by the way, because I'm out of the business, or not, I'm out of the business. No, it's because I don't give a fuck anymore. I can cuss on this fucking show, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
well, we support such a thing.
God bless the UK. Anyway, so he was saying how much he loved Trump, and I was saying, well, you don't mind if I don't take your word for it, being as you and your compadres were such a bunch of drooling assholes when you came on Critters 2, and which is really funny because they came on with this idea that they were going to do this critter ball that was going to be like made out of an aluminum structure, and they glued a bunch of critter balls on it, and they tried to roll it down a hill, and everybody that was on my crew didn't have anything to do because they managed somehow to plug a 110 thing into my enormous 210 generator and blow it out. So they didn't have anything to do. So all we could do was go watch them roll their first critter ball down the hill. and everybody was like, I mean, we were all structural people. We were all people. Let me take that back. We were all people who knew how things worked. And and so they tried rolling this aluminum ball down the hill, and at the top of the hill it was like 7 feet around, and the bottom of the hill was like half the size of a beach ball, and there were critters moaning and screaming all up and down the hillside. So
so what happened when you started the movie?
Yeah.
Okay. So I pulled up your IMDb. I got you, Mick. I got you. All right. So there is, and this is very, very good. The Hidden, which a movie from 1987. Nightmare on Elm Street 4. It doesn't say 3. Why the fuck doesn't it say 3? You assholes. They're missing something. Fat Boys, Are You Ready for Freddy? Which is a video short in 1988. Freddy's Nightmares, the TV series, Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, which is my buddy's like favorite of all time. Hollywood Dog, Fever, Frankenstein, The College Years, which is a fucking fantastic title. Strays, Calendar, Cop Killer, Bambi, Bembeck's Story, Revenge of the Nerds 3, The Next Generation, Ring of Musketeers, Tainted Blood, Mantis, Hercules and the Amazon one. Now, was that the Kevin Sorbo one?
Yes.
Oh my God, you got to work Kevin Sorbo.
Kevin. I gotta tell you, Kevin Sorbo working down there in New Zealand with a bunch of Maori non-stunt people. He literally did this for like I think we did it for 2.5 years, right? And then he stayed around for the whole TV series. I was there for the 5 movies, and down there, everybody. It's like in America, if I need somebody to like make a sword for me. Yeah, it's such a long, involved process, and I have to go to a forge, to have the aluminum poured and all the rest of this. And down there, absolutely everybody in fucking New Zealand has their own aluminum forge in their garage. And so, it's such a great. It's a bunch of people that really. It's like I wanted to do this windmill, right? Mm-hmm. And they brought me the head of the radar at the airport. They brought me the one that they just changed out, and I got to use that, the Auckland Airport radar head.
The thing that spins around.
Yeah, I think it spins around so it could spin this way and this way all at the same time.
I thought for sure you're gonna be like, so they brought me the entire Netherlands with every fucking windmill, so I could have my pick and choosing, and
right, it was amazing. And so the thing is so then we got to turn all these aluminum swords over to the Maori, who then proceeded, not being stunt people or anything like that, they proceeded to literally spend week after week beating the living shit out of Kevin Sorbo with them.
Nice. He deserved it.
Yeah, it's Kevin. Yeah, who cares? Yeah, right.
Here's a question though. At the same exact time that show was going on, and I'm just kind of asking. It's an opinion thing, so you can tell me to fuck off if you want. There was Sci-Fi had they had Hercules, the fucking legendary tales with Kevin Sorbo.
Right.
But they also had Xena, the warrior princess.
Oh, right.
And I think Xena went through like 1,000 seasons or some nonsense. Why do you suppose that fucking Xena went for 1,000 seasons and Hercules only went for what it did?
Are you fucking serious?
Really?
It's called conversation.
No, really. Wait. What I want you to do is go back at some point and listen to that fucking question, isolated, and think of what a like a eunuch you sound like.
Listen. I know why that Xena did very well. I'm just asking because you happen to be a guy that was there. And
I'm not being funny, right? But that show could have fucking sucked. It could have been terrible. But everybody would have been like, great work.
Hello.
Amazing.
I love it.
Phenomenal. You're the best.
More seasons.
Xena, you're a super lady.
But she was a takeoff of the second movie she was a takeoff of the first movie that we did.
What was Xena in the fucking Hercules show at first? Is that I didn't watch it that much.
That's where she came from. She came from the legendary journey of Hercules fighting the Amazon women.
Okay, I think that's actually on here. Fucking, let's go back up to it. Hercules Legendary Journeys, the Amazon Women. There you go. Fucking
right. And basically, what the men needed, Hercules and the men needed ironing done.
Yeah. Oh my God. Fucking. Well, the funny thing is, like, I guarantee the guys were watching Hercules, like, look at fucking Kevin Sorbo. Who the fuck he thinks he is? Look at those muscles. And then they see Xena, like, yeah, Xena, she totally digs me.
Can you imagine asking Xena to do your ironing? You'd be like, I need to decide what use is a garment without a head?
What? See, the thing about
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Whenever I think about Xena, I don't even think about that shit that much anymore. I think about the Treehouse of Horror episode from The Simpsons where fucking Lucy Lawless is on it and she can fly. They're like, wait a minute, Xena can't fly. She's like, I'm not Xena, I'm Lucy Lawless.
I'm not Xena, goddammit.
I love it so
and
much.
Then she came up. She also wound up on Parks and Rec.
Yeah, and she was on that fucking Spartacus show, which, by the way, I admire her perseverance for not showing her boobies until she got so late in her career that she's like, fuck it, why not? Here's my fucking kiwi titties and shit, and like everyone just check them out. I respect that move.
She and her second, I can't think of the name of the
Gabby.
Yeah, Gabby.
Yeah. They had a relationship, right? They were.
Oh yeah, sure, right. They wound up. She wound up being Penn and Teller's. The
glamorous assistant.
Yeah, glamorous.
Really?
Assistant. Yeah.
What? When the fuck did that? Okay,
look that one up,
dude. That's fucking crazy. Gabby was like, "Listen, I've had enough of sword fighting. I'm gonna go hang out with this guy that doesn't talk and this guy that doesn't shut the fuck up."
Yeah, that's right.
That's actually one of those shows that I really want to see. I have never seen a Penn and Teller live, and they're still doing the residence at Las Vegas. So every single year, I'm like, dude, how much longer are Penn and Teller going to do the show? Like they're well off. They don't need to do it anymore.
That'll go on forever. I mean, the thing is that pays for all the operations to keep him thin.
Oh yeah, well he did that potato diet, Mick. Don't you know he ate nothing but potatoes for?
Oh yeah, right. No, this was not an operation. No.
Mick's dropping the fucking dirt.
I didn't have my entire colon removed. No way.
Well, I did, but it was for fun. It wasn't so much for fucking health reasons. I was so sick of pooping. I'm like, there's a better way, right?
Yeah,
so now I just talk shit.
Works for Trump.
Speaking of which, going back to what you're saying, fucking, it's so funny to me that people are still in this cult of Trump. It's like, motherfucker, that was forever ago now. Like, we live in such a fast-paced world that you're still like complaining about Trump, or you're still thinking about Trump.
People like that just find that it's not like a cult of Trump; it's a cult of dickheads. They just find a new leader every time. That's what it is.
It is indeed, and we Americans, we raise a lot of dickheads.
Yeah,
and the worst thing that ever happened about Trump, and let's face it, because it also happened all the way around the world. The worst thing that happened then was that you found out that your neighbor really honestly was a dickhead, that there was no, all of a sudden you could tell for sure who was fucked up. It was who was flying the flag, right?
And even worse so was the people that you thought were normal, and then you find out afterwards. Like, I have my kid's friend's parents. He was talking about Donald Trump. Like, they were doing the school meeting in the morning because they went remote for a week, and he's like, "Who'd you vote for?" My dad and my mom like Donald Trump, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, your dad makes sense. Your dad kind of seems like that guy that would like Donald Trump, but your mom, she's like a smart, educated girl. Why is she into fucking Trump?" And it's very strange, and I don't like when kids talk about politics. Like, I hate it. I think it's stupid. And like, I barely understand politics. I don't want to hear you regurgitate your parents' fucking false.
I will punch a child.
See,
your dad's pretty big, but I'll fuck you up, kid.
Yeah. You know what? There's no excuse for not punching a child.
No, yeah, I know.
It's my thoughts exactly.
Hey,
I mean,
if they need it, they need it.
Something that really interesting has happened in the UK. I don't know if you guys are getting the news of what's been going on over here, but there's been a haulage driver shortage. All right, nobody wants to do the job. Right?
Isn't that
the money shit? The hours are long. They get treated terribly. Yeah, it's bad.
Because all the people that would drive a truck in Britain basically are not from Britain, right?
Yeah, so Brexit happened. Everyone's like, fuck the foreigners, they're taking all our jobs. Now everybody's complaining because the foreigners aren't taking our jobs. It's fucking brilliant.
Are there any foreigners to come take our jobs?
I know it's not like just America was dumb, became dumb. It's like maybe it started in America, but you're basically you've got that blonde guy.
The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree out.
No, well, you guys are effectively of our seed. So I'm just saying that.
Hey, it's not like we don't know the nature of the problem.
It's true. It's a weird thing, and I once again I just don't understand it anymore. But fuck politics. Mick, I gotta say, man, like growing up, I watched Joe Bob Briggs on TNT Monster Movie night. Like, he would be on every Saturday night, and he would show classic horror films, you know, the Friday 13th, the Halloweens of it all. And when I was really, really young, I got introduced to Freddy Krueger, to Nightmare on Elm Street. And I saw, and I don't know what resonated between that, probably just the imagination of Wes Craven and Mick Strawn, of course, once you come to find out that he was very heavily involved in 3 and 4, especially the art part of it all. And when you watch those movies, they're so fucking beautiful and so creative that like it makes sense after talking with you.
Well set up.
Yeah.
Well set up. Well done.
Yeah. So fucking
wait.
So
wait. You had me at Mick Strawn.
Yes. I can do that the rest of the episode. Mick Strawn.
Tom doesn't just give butter; he has to put it in a silver platter, and he's like,
"Yeah,
butter, sir."
Are you complaining that I'm classy?
That's your class.
It's classy. I'm classy as fuck, bro.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, thank you. So fucking, how does one become the fucking art director for a movie like A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3?
Oh, well, so let me do something here. I'm going to try something. Mick, and if I lose you, hold on. Just sit there, goddammit.
I'm holding on. Okay.
Speak.
I don't know what I'm holding on to.
What's the song?
Can I hear you there?
No.
Hello.
I can hear you. This is the music. We're testing your mic.
I was trying to get rid of my headphones. Anyway,
you really hate those microphones, those fucking headphones. Nick. You're like,
you haven't come back yet. God damn it!
I'm here. You're testing the microphone and your headphones. Fucking.
Hello.
We can just make up answers for Mick this whole time. Well, I got started because there was once a young man.
We do like four bubbles.
There you are.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
Boy. Okay. So anyway,
back in the room.
I'll tell you exactly how this happened. And I had been working for a while with a bunch of special effects people, and I had also was a construction coordinator and did art directed little things, and I was hired by Peter Chesney, who's a good friend of mine, to run his shop for a while. Peter Chesney did all the mechanical effects, like the worm going up in the walls and all the rest of that. I actually designed that and built it before the show started.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
And then it was my turn. And so the thing is that I'm running the shop. So I get to go down with the final bill, which is the prep bill, right? Because they didn't have a director yet. And it looked like I was going to go on forever and stuff like that. And so I take the bill and I'm literally this close to losing my job until, they got a director. And so I went down with Peter Chesney's final bill, and I'm waiting for the elevator to go up, and a guy comes up beside me that I knew, and his name was Jerry Olson, and we knew each other from Quiet Cool, right? And and I did the construction coordination on Quiet Cool, and we both get in the elevator, and I got this idea. I thought, well, I'm just about out of a job. And so I thought to myself, well, fuck, I'm going to make an elevator pitch. And now you should usually be better prepared than that. Because I didn't think I was going to do the elevator pitch until I was fucking in the elevator. And then I just turned to Jerry and said, Jerry, you know what? What are you doing here? And he goes, well, I've just been brought on as an executive producer on the new Nightmare on Elm Street film. And I go, son of a bitch, I've got the billing here for the final part of the prep. Here's your bill. And incidentally, you need a great art director. And you know what? I know the whole thing in and out. I've already done the effects for it. So why don't you let me just do the whole film?
Please give me a job. Please give me a job.
You heard me say I'm almost out of a job, Jerry.
It took me 8 floors because
that's impressive, actually.
Well, it was. So I walked out of the elevator and into the meeting for the film and got introduced as the art director. Now,
oh shit,
yeah, literally, and from there on, I did the film. And you know what? And the great thing though is that when I walked into the meeting, they go, well, we're changing things around here. We're going to make a third film that's going to get back all of our market because the second film we lost a lot of, and I didn't know, I hadn't even really actually seen the first or the second one.
Really?
Well, wait a minute. You just hold on there. This was a time when you had to see it in the theater.
Yes.
Right. It isn't like there were tapes or CDs or anything around. It's like you either saw it in the theater. And oddly enough, I was kind of busy because I had a career in the business. So I couldn't see any of the stuff that the business actually did. I know. Funny thing that way. So anyway, they get in the meeting and I went like this. I said, well, we shouldn't be on location for this. I said, everybody else goes, well, we're going to let Freddie we're going to let Freddie become a little bit more like our Robert Englund. And we're going to loosen him up. And we have this new, now I knew the script really well because I had been reading it. And we have the element now of, we fixed what's the Superman problem with Freddy. You know what a Superman problem is, right?
Where he goes backwards and turns the world backwards.
That's part of it. The Superman problem is that how do you do anything to Superman? He's fucking Superman, right? So the Superman problem with Freddy is that, well, one way or the other, eventually you got to go to sleep, and once you do, I gotcha, right?
I think Bill Cosby said the same thing.
So anyway, so the way that the Superman problem was dealt with was that they let her bring other people into the dream, right? So then I was supposed to say something intelligent, and I just gotten out of the elevator, right? And so I said, well, I think that we're not going to do anything on location. I think that we're going to pull it all onto the stage so that we can just blow everything out. And I knew that the first two had never really gotten on stage. They'd done like one set on a stage or something like that, and that was it. And everybody's mind went, and that's what I did. So
that's funny because it's so old hat now, not what you do. I'm saying like staying in like a warehouse and doing it all there, like people wouldn't bat an eye at that anymore. But at the time when you're proposing such a thing, everyone's like, what the fuck's he saying? That's like landing on the moon.
But especially for little non-union films, I mean, you just didn't do that. I mean, it's like, think of the stuff that was out, so you had Halloween, which was all location. You had, a lot of the Friday the 13th, they were all location. Basically, that was the way that you did it if you were a low budget film. And I was like, well, and of course I probably said something like, and it won't cost you a dime more. Oh God, I could lie so well.
Okay, that's hilarious.
It costs a lot.
Yeah. It costs a fucking arm and a leg.
But they had me right back, so I guess they couldn't.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a daring idea, first of all, but second of all, like it's funny to think because like some of it is location. Like I love Nightmare on Elm Street. Like literally, you can cut out a lot of a Nightmare on Elm Street, but there's a couple like really core things. If you want to watch the Nancy saga of it all, you got to watch 1, you got to watch 3, and you got to watch fucking 7. It's 7. You got to watch 7, and that way you can kind of watch the whole Nancy saga. And if you think about 3, there's a lot of location to it. So what about it? Like, what'd you guys build? Like the house? What was built to be shot in the warehouse?
We built all the interior of the house. The interior of the house, we built the spiral staircase that goes down to the Freddy Hell. Of course, we actually wound up building the junkyard. We just happened to build it on a location.
How does that affect lighting then? When you're in a warehouse and you've got to be consistent from scene to scene, do you have like a setting for a light that you got to stick to, or how does that work?
Oh yeah. Well, basically you take a return, and return can be anything that looks like it came from the location. Like if you're matching, and then you light that directly like you did the location, and then we fool you. A
little trickery.
Just little mirrors and shit like that. Yeah.
Now, did you guys just keep the house up? Was there any plans like after 3? You're like, oh, we should keep all this stuff around because we're gonna do 4 or anything like that?
Yeah, basically we did. We warehoused them all, and but we warehoused everything as flats, and then pulled them back and reconfigured them. Right. That's because my concept, like I kept telling people, I kept saying, my concept of I didn't see it as much of a horror film as I did I know that this is, to me, it was more of an adventure film.
Yeah, I could see that. It definitely has a lot of those like adventure type of qualities to it.
Especially the third and the fourth, right? Both of those I saw as being adventure films. It's a journey, right?
Yeah.
And in and of that journey, the journey itself is magical, right? And that's where my entire aesthetic came from. Was I was going to make the journey a blast. I was going to make the journey. I used to tell people that the Nightmare on Elm Street 3 was like that little carnival that pulls into the into a Target parking lot,
Yeah.
And then when Nightmare 4 came along, I made it into Disneyland.
Yeah. Or Dismoland, as some would call it. Fucking okay. So you essentially have enough foresight to keep all this stuff because you're like three revitalized the series in a big bad way.
Right.
There's no joke about it, because as you so eloquently put, 2 had like this weird feel to it. It definitely wasn't 1. They were trying to encapsulate some of the horror aspects and some of like the terrifying nature that is Freddy Krueger, but like they missed the mark on so much, and a lot of it had to do with like this weird understory where it's like, is Freddy not trying to put anyone down, but is he gay? Is he straight? Is this kid gay or straight? Like there's this weird undertone. I feel like the director was trying to make a different movie, but he got stuck on a Freddy movie, is what it seems like.
See, I saw the first and the second in a theater, right?
Mm.
And I thought that I mean, literally, they had viewings just for me.
Oh, nice! How dope's that?
Yeah,
just his own movie.
So I get to sit there. I got to sit there and watch them through all the way through, because I mean there wasn't such a thing as a tape. You
fucking cut a hole in your own popcorn bucket. You're like, well,
yeah,
it's a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only way I watch a movie, guys. I'm sorry.
Ooh, this butter is great. Anyway,
it's so good for your skin.
It is. So I sat there and watched the 2 of them all the way through, and I have to tell you, the first one, to me, it was great. I didn't like the ending. Still to this day, I have no idea why it ended.
It's weird. It's weird ending.
I still get the feeling that somebody, like there was an accountant right off camera, right? And I'm boring him again. How do you like that?
I know he does this from time to time. He's the meanderer.
Yeah, because I'm a wanderer.
I'm actually writing some questions. I've got some, as we were talking about this, I was like, oh, I need to ask him that. Oh, I need to ask him that. So I'm making a list so I don't forget, Mick.
I wanted more Coke, Mick. I don't know what it brings out, but I need more Coke when I'm around you.
So I get to see I got to see the 2 of them back to back, and I have to tell you, up through the first 20 minutes of the second one, I thought, oh, this is really great. And then I just got confused because there were just so many weird things. I mean, for one thing, Freddy didn't look like Freddy at the beginning, because it wasn't Freddy, and Freddy all of a sudden looked like a football player, with Freddy's mask on. But I didn't really understand the second one. I mean, like the thing is it's simple. A horror film sets the rules out at the beginning, right? Yep. And you try and do it without being, too obvious about it. But there are rules. And the thing is as soon as you break those rules, you go, well, you couldn't even make your own fucking world.
It's strange to me because it's like it's a trope now. Like there's rules to a horror movie, like Scream, very, very well said that there's certain rules to a horror movie, and they outline the world, right? They make the first one like these are the things that Freddy can and can't do. This is what works. It's sort of
like a vampire film. Vampire films are very careful.
I never thought about that way.
Well, a vampire film is very careful to set out the rules of their particular vampire at the very beginning, right? And it's, you always have that character that goes, oh, well, they don't really, vampires really don't hate garlic, but you'd bring out a cross like this.
Well,
vampires get sparkly in the daylight. Fuck off.
Well, funnily enough, I think it's like if they would went up to Bela Lugosi, beg, all right, fucking here you go. Here's Dracula. All right, cool. All right, now here's Dracula 2. This time you can go out in the sun. You love sunbathing. That's like how you get your fucking power.
As long as you have SPF 40, right?
Yeah. Or you wear actually.
No, I was going to say, but sometimes it's good to break the rules, though. I mean, you talk about Blade that you worked on.
Now, here's the thing, though, is a professional knows that if you know the rules really well, on your best days, you're going to break the rules, and that's going to make your style, right?
Yes.
But if you just don't know the rules and you break them, well, then you get Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
It was a strange movie, and once again, like it's worth a watch. Like it plays, and obviously it has some really good special effects to the whole thing. Like near the end, Freddy kind of like he takes over the body of Jesse, the young kid, and he kind of like cuts out of him and steps out, and that was a kind of a dope scene.
But wait a minute, but wait a minute, and I'll tell you my objection to that scene.
Mm.
Had we done that on Nightmare on Elm Street 3, we would have filmed it from the side. So that you wouldn't have been and we would have cut out all the mechanics that it took to come through, and you would have there would have been the mystery of where did Freddy come from, as opposed to backing him up to a wall and then coming right through. Basically, where did he come from? See, that's. I'm sorry. I hate to say that, but that's 109 filmmaking, not 101.
Oh shit! Fucking, we're 8 steps ahead of this motherfucker nowadays.
Let me tell you, have I not been doing this too motherfucking long, or what?
No, I think you're doing just the right amount of time, because it makes you because you get really rosy-eyed glasses in the beginning of film, right? Like everybody's excited to be there. You kind of believe everything's magic,
Turquoise.
and then. Turquoise. Yeah. And then, once you get to the wisdom years that you've kind of done, it gives you a different view. So you can talk candidly about film instead of talking about it as if it's the greatest fucking thing in the world. You can say things like, well, that scene in Nightmare on Elm Street 2 was fine and all, but if you wanted to accomplish it in a better way, this is how I would have
part. I mean, really,
the bus is good.
The bus part, if they had kept going on that realm, I mean, you see the bus teetering up there. It's a great effect, it's something that we're going that we all remember. To me, I mean, the rest of the film,
very forgettable.
It's like, especially when Freddy jumps in the pool scene and Freddy comes jumping halfway across the pool scene, and you say to yourself, because of how obvious it was that he was on a propellant ramp.
Mm-hmm.
I see that scene, and all I can see is the ramp, and it isn't even there. How do you do that? I mean, that's a talent.
It really is. How badly can you fuck this up so I can see through everything that you're doing? But to be totally fair, also, like that one scene, and I'm very sorry to cut you off, Alex, that one scene where he's like, "You're all my children." Oh, that's kind of dope. Like that, the lighting, like the noise, then the gruffness of his voice and his arms going out. That's kind of dope. I don't mind that scene that much. But the problem is, it's good scenes.
I tell you what,
with a shitty movie.
Let's play poker, and I will call that scene and raise you every other motherfucking scene in Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Yeah, but that's not fair, though, because your movie was better, Mick. That's not a fair thing to fucking say or do. I don't play with cheaters that have cards up their sleeves like Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. Be like,
hey, listen,
sorry, let me just drop the girl being picked up.
Don't play if you don't know you're going to win.
But when it comes to long sequelized movie franchises like Nightmare on Elm Street, like Friday the 13th, like Fast and Furious now, 8, 9, John Wick 4, John Wick, all these kind of things that happen. Do you feel like the numbers sort of overtake the quality of the film?
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, the advantage that you have on the Nightmares is that it's fantasy. I mean, with the fantasy, absolutely anything is on the table. And how you fuck that up with something like Nightmare on Elm Street 5, it's like, I don't know what the hell happened there. I wasn't there to save it. That's the problem. But but the thing is because you can get into like interesting situations like the meta version of it. That Rachel Talalay did that was, not good, but it's a lot of fun. Or you can get, the meta version of it. I called that one the meta version. And then the one that looks like it's almost in black and white with Nancy again, That's the meta version of it.
I love that meta version. It gets a little strange sometimes, but fucking there's so much about that. I love it. It was like my first introduction to special effects makers. Like that was something really cool they did. They really like focused on Nancy's husband being a special effects coordinator, making the glove and like showing like the background scenes of everything. That was kind of dope. I really enjoyed that.
But that's what I'm saying is you have a fantasy that you can play with forever. As far as seconds, for the most part, I'm not a huge fan, but but I've been involved in so many of them. I thought TCM 3 was pretty good, and I've seen the modern Leatherface in which the barn kind of looks like all the hangings and stuff in the barn kind of looks a little bit more like a boutique.
You guys
literally it looked. Hey, come on, let's face it. That whole fucking barn, it looked like it had price tags on all the little sculptures, right?
It did. It was expensive. Antiques.
I mean, we did the same thing on TCM, but as soon as they started looking boutique-ish, I would tear them back apart and just put like a skull with just a bone through it, right?
Yeah.
It's like the important thing is this is the art of somebody who can barely tie his fucking shoelaces unless he's holding a chainsaw that says the saw is family. Stop making it look like, oh, are you worried about the balance here or the color of it? No, I want a fucking bone sticking through the jaw and hanging up. That's it.
This isn't Walmart and the sticks.
This is...
I like there's so many of those films in America that's just really fucked up the idea of me going on and just blasting Route 66 as a romantic holiday idea for a British guy. Because, we see these things like The Hills Have Eyes and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you think, no, I actually wouldn't like to do that. Thank you very much. Thanks. Cheers. As
much as I hated that remake as much as I hated the Leatherface remake, the one they did in the early 2000s, I will give it this. It was very effective to those that weren't too bright, because I was at the movie theater. There was this girl named Katie that was behind us, and she went to school with me. She was nice enough or whatever. But like the end where they had like the beginning clips of the black and white footage and the end clips of the black and white footage, it tricked her so much. She was shaking visibly. She's like, when did this happen? Did they ever find him? I'm like, are you fucking shitting me right now? Like Toby Hooper, fucking 1970s. What the fuck are you talking about? She's like, no, that was real. I saw that footage. And I'm like, yeah,
right.
It's a movie. And she just didn't get that. I thought that was fucking excellent.
And the thing is, we started TCM 3 with the same black and white footage. I mean, it was our foot.
You started that? Was that?
It was it was our footage.
Oh shit! Do they give you like royalties for that stuff? Like they're like, oh well, here you go. It was your footage, or they just take it because it's their property. Really? What a bunch of.
You know what? I sign all my property away at the beginning of a film, and it used to be in perpetuity throughout the earth, and then later on it became in perpetuity throughout the solar system. And then by the time you hit the 2000s, it was in perpetuity throughout the known universe.
And now Mick is getting fucked past Jupiter and stuff. He's like, why? I thought I was at least making a couple shekels when I got to the dwarf planet. So now I'm getting fucked there too. It's so cold in Mick.
Yeah, getting hammered in the Delta Quadrant.
I was reading this book. It's called Slash the Titans. And what it essentially is it covers the very tumultuous history that is Freddy vs. Jason. Like, right. And I didn't know about everything about it. I just knew like they were talking about it after Jason Goes to Hell. And then that's what I knew. But apparently it was way before that they started this idea, and they've had like 1,000 different directors, 1,000 different stories, and it was a very, very cool book. It was almost 24 hours worth of book. Were you ever approached for anything to be involved with that by chance? Was that anything?
You know what? It was like, the thing is if you look at it from the point of view of that movie, right? And follow the line of people going back, then you get an idea of how many fucking people are writing Nightmare on Elm Street pieces and follow them on back, because that's just one.
Including Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland. Rick and Morty.
Everybody in the world was throwing a script one way or the other for a Nightmare, and has been consistently for years, and it's like to follow one of them or one line of them. It would look overwhelming, but the thing is it's so much more overwhelming than that, because everybody in the world wanted to be Freddy. So strange, it's like, let's face it, there was a time, especially in the mid-90s, when everybody in the world wanted to be a serial killer.
Still do. True crime is fucking huge, Mick. Everybody wants to be like
podcasts, man. Jesus Christ, just chill the fuck out, people. Everybody wants to do a true crime podcast. We get it. People die. Let's not romanticize about it. They talk about it as if it's like some serious thing that we should all avoid, and it's a terrible thing. But really, we know you're rubbing your clitoris as you're talking about this, darling. Calm down. Like, it's just fucking everything.
Let's see. I was signing a book recently.
By the way, if you have not bought Mick's book, you need to at least you need to buy it because he's a great fucking dude. But you need to look at the excerpts that he writes in the beginning of most books. And the one that's the last was, I lost your address, but thank God for the
dear Brian, I lost your address. Thank God for the National Sex Offender Registry.
Yes.
There it was.
Fucking A, man. You're so savage. You troll people that buy your book, which makes me laugh so fucking hard. Because it's like, not only are they like, here's some money, Mick. I really enjoy your work and I want to read more about it. They're like, oh, you enjoy my work, dude? Well, you're a fucking cunt. There you go.
Yeah.
I've got a few questions. I know Tom was enjoying the Nightmare on Elm Street shit there, so I lean back, let him do it. But I've been writing a few questions on my own, just gonna throw them in there.
Whoa! Wait, you're doing a podcast and you can write?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
He can do 3 things at once. He's also getting laid right now too. We just can't see it.
just go in.
Okay. Well, you know what? More power to you.
Yeah,
we're clever bitches like that. We can do maths, basic maths as well.
We're velociraptors.
You've been doing this for a long time, and obviously you've got a lot of experience. But I feel like we should talk about some of the fuck ups as well. I mean, is there a situation where you've completely got something wrong that you think of on stage, where you're just going, oh shit, what have I done? And all eyes are on you. Your face is burning up. You built something wrong, or you've got something wrong.
Oh, so many times. So many times. I remember I did this. I did this show called Mantis, and there was these tanks around it of water. We had water bubbling, so that when you looked, it looked like you were underwater, but the tanks were really about that thick and maybe about 4 feet tall. And they were just a massive pain in the ass. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. And I remember in the middle of a take, I was trying to get one of the bubblers to stay down because it kept floating up in front of the camera. Mm-hmm. And I became transfixed on doing that. And I was holding up the whole fucking production, and I'm up here and I'm jamming this thing down, trying to get 4 feet down, right? Trying to get that bubbler to go down. And somehow or other, I plunged it through the bottom of the tank.
Oh, no.
And this wave of water literally took and I was behind the set. This wave of water just took and washed me out into the air at 8 feet and dumped my ass. And I was knocked out. And I woke up just soaked from head to toe. Cut.
Who's that guy? Who was that fucking guy that killed my shot? Is that you, Mick?
I just see Mick fucking waking up, be like, "Did she come?" And all of a sudden he passes back out.
What the? I was having this beautiful dream of a.
Oh, fucking Mick! You got some glass in your head.
Oh yeah. This is.
Put that right back. Sorry about
that. Put that back. That's the great stuff here on the end. I need.
Have you ever lost your shit on set? Like someone else fucked up? Yeah.
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 Usually I'm pretty, I don't take anything seriously, as you may have noticed. But hard to remember. It really is. It's hard to remember. I mean, I remember. Now there is a guy that wrote a book just recently. Why can't I think of his name? And he asked me to do a foreword for him on the nightmares, and I did, and I wrote a foreword that was all about, like, Chuck Russell was a dick, right? I mean, he was just a fucking dick. He was the director of Nightmare on Elm Street 3, right? Uh-huh. And he was just the hardest human being to get along with, and he was also one of those guys that would turn around and he'd ask for more and more and more and more, and then when you went over budget, he'd turn around and he goes, "Well, yeah, that's that guy's fault."
Whoa.
You know?
Well, did you see the way Mick went through that fucking window? What an asshole, right? You ruined the
movie. So I wrote I wrote a story about I said in the foreword to the Nightmare on Elm Street book, I wrote, I remember one time going down the road to the premiere for Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and I was trying to find a place to park, and Chuck Russell was stepping off the curb, and he stepped off the curb right in front of me. And the thing is I let the fucker live, and and therefore I cursed all the people on the blob.
Oh, that was his film too. I'm so sorry, everybody that worked on the blob.
Yeah, and so basically my foreword was apologizing to everybody that worked on the blob because I didn't kill Chuck Russell when I had a chance.
Such a fucking troll, Mick. My God.
That's the forward to his book, man.
Years later, you take the opportunity. What a nice thing. Someone's like, "I respect you so much, Mick, that I want you to please write the forward. I'd be honored for you to write me the forward." You're like, "Absolutely. Let me write you this forward really quick. Dear everyone, the blob, I am so sorry I did not kill Chuck Russell when I had the opportunity to, and I did not take it. I am so sorry he ruined your lives."
That's right.
That's trolling to a level that I just don't even hear of anymore.
See, now that's playing the long game right there.
Yeah, dude, that's the long con.
You see, that's the long game. You know, I don't believe in just, you know, petty Annie shit, man. It's like I go all the way around the block.
I see you.
Yeah,
that's like you waiting until like his daughter's of age, like in her 30s or something, and then fucking her, and then, you know, kind of be like, "All right, I'm good now." And he's like, "What was that for? I thought you loved her." You'd be like, "Well, that was for Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3," and you walk away really quick. That's how long game that is, Mick.
That's a game. See, that's what can I say?
Hey, Alex, do you have more questions?
I do, yeah.
Well, he had a whole pad full of questions.
I've got 3 left. I very sneakily snuck a couple in there as we're doing this because I'm fucking G. But like when it comes to what you deal with a lot of death scenes. Straight to mind now when you think about death scenes, what are the most impressive or the most ridiculous death scenes that you've seen that you've worked on?
In general, or that I've worked on? My favorite? I got to tell you, my favorite, hands down. And it could be because I've seen something that other people haven't, but the scene of what's his?
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Brad.
What's his name? No,
Philip.
Philip. Yeah, Philip. Fucking Philip.
Philip coming down cutting his arms open like this. Here's the thing. I remember when they assembled the first take of that. They did a rough assemblage, and so we went to the lab to see that, and I remember seeing it with Rachel, and this was the complete cut of it. So we saw the arms cut all the way down and the legs cut all the way down and the veins pulled out and him being puppeted down. And I got to tell you something, it was just enough to make you throw up. It was really fucking disturbing.
I got a video I can send you later that'll definitely change your mind about that. It's that it's a great fucking scene, and nobody did it beforehand. And has anyone ever tried to like do something similar where you watch it? Like,
I'm looking at images now.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty fucking excellent, dude. Yeah, and like, amazing. You got this whole like Freddy CGI motive going above where he's like marionetting the whole situation. The only thing that ruins is literally everybody screaming out the window to fucking Philip. It's like, motherfucker, he's sleeping. He can't hear you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Hello.
It was good. So was that like really quick, was that a real insane asylum that you guys were at? Like, did you guys just find an abandoned one? How'd that go?
Those were all sets.
Were they?
They were all sets. The tower is on UCLA campus, and the long hallways were the Veterans Hospital in Southern California.
Oh, okay.
Over on the other side, on the west side of the freeway, just before you get into Santa Monica.
Well, you fooled 8-year-old Tom Bruno. I'll tell you that much for him. Like, look at this insane asylum. It's so big.
That's you know what? This insane asylum is insane.
It's nuts.
And what are your biggest regrets with movie? Is there something you've passed up on and it's gone to be huge, or is it something you probably could have put more energy into that could have gone big? You believe?
You know, I have to tell you, the thing is looking back on a career is like nothing but pure fucking chaos. I don't even know how to filter that down. You know, it's just sometimes I had bad behavior, but I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed having bad behavior when I had it. So I don't necessarily for the longest time, I didn't even know that anybody cared about any of the shit that I did. Like 5 or 6 years ago, I mean, my sister died in a plane wreck, and we both lived in LA. She was a production designer and I was a production designer, and it became a big mess trying to sort everything out. And I moved to Washington to be around my grandkids with my wife. And then I moved to Tennessee. And the thing is up until that point, I was involved in Hollywood and didn't understand. You see, when you're working in the business in the LA area, nobody gives a shit about what you did yesterday. Your only thing is what you're doing for them now. And I had worked for nearly 15 years kind of fixing things for people. I can't describe it beyond that because of, I signed 100,000 NDAs in 15 years. But that was my understanding of my career, was that nobody thought about it. Right. And then to get out of the business and move to Washington and then to Tennessee, and to realize that people, I mean, literally 6 years ago, I was looking at Facebook, which I had for like many years, but I had never looked at once. And I showed my wife my Facebook and said, "Hey, look, this guy knows who I am."
Fucking they're right, as well as they should.
Well, yeah, but I didn't think that. It never occurred to me.
So you have one thing. You have a really interesting accolade under your belt. One, I'm going to mention this vampire movie to get the next one. One, you were the prop master on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the actual movie. That's what it says. Is that true? Because we know that sometimes this fucks up.
That's not true.
Okay. They're full of shit.
But you know what? Here's a weird thing I was on that film along with Joss Whedon. And both of us got fired 2 weeks in. I was the production designer. He was the director. And we came in as a team and we left, as a team. I came back and did a lot of the flying rigs.
Oh, did you?
But that's, here nor there, just a guy in a diner that knew how to do that. But it also never mentions that I was the production designer on The Night of the Scarecrow, or that I was the American art director for Sid and Nancy.
Were you?
Yeah.
Get the one of my best friends
I built the Chelsea Hotel where he dies.
Yeah.
I built all that.
Oh shit!
Fuck, man.
Bagside
fuck you. Good night.
So the weird thing about it is in the end, people keep telling me, well, you can call and you can correct that. I go, yeah, I guess I could, but I just really
fucking
it doesn't make a huge bit of it, fraction of a difference in my life. So why do I care?
The reason I mentioned that vampire movie is because once back to the interesting pin that you have on your chest, which is you saved a company essentially. If anybody remembers back in the 1990s, Marvel Studios was fucking dead. They were dying. It was like a withered thing and nobody wanted anything to do with it. Like they were losing their jobs. And then a movie came along, a very great fucking movie and a fantastic fucking vampire movie that set the stage for so many to come. You were working on Blade. Isn't that right, sir?
I was. I will tell you that my claim to fame on Blade was that I did I was the mastermind behind the shower scene at the very beginning.
Which is arguably one of the most notorious scenes in that fucking movie. Like when people talk about that, they talk about the Deacon Frost fight and they talk about the opening, the rave, and the shower scene.
Right.
Blood.
And there's a reason that they talk about it. I tell you that is that the rigging for the blood and the blood itself and how it looked and how it came out because of its viscosity and everything else. It was 3,500 gallons of that was pumped through a system so that it reclaimed all of it and pumped it through again after it was chlorinated and came back around.
Nobody pee in the blood, please.
Literally, it was
It'll turn
biggest.
Purple.
It was such a huge job. And the thing is the when you see the heads that look like the fire heads coming from the ceiling, they were dough mixing heads. And that was a 1-inch pipe that they were coming out of. Not like you would do with water, because water doesn't have a viscosity problem. No. Water is thin. So they have little tiny 3/8 of an inch heads for that. And it disperses the water.
Blood is thicker than water. Yes.
Are you writing a song right now, Tom? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, it's a song. Yeah. Oh, really? You think
Mick, blood is thicker than water?
It's a song called Mick and Me. It's gonna be a really good song. It's really a love song.
So we actually we had to make everything pump through pipes in order for it to look good. We did tests with the blood and we were trying to keep it thick, and we got it too dark the first time, and it obliterated all the light on the set and the cameras went black. Right? It literally, the cameras just shut down, and we thought, well, okay, now we need to get we need to keep the thickness in, and yet now we need to clear it out enough so that we can actually photograph it. So there was a lot of problems with that.
That happens a lot. Like, people don't know how to get blood right. It's one of the biggest problems that movies face. It's either too thin, it doesn't stick. Like, there's so many movies where you're like, oh wow, the color's really good, but then you see it drip down their face, and you're like, no, that's way too fucking thin, or it leaves a weird trail.
It becomes a rivulet.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. And blood doesn't do that. Blood doesn't become a rivulet. It stays. It creates blood is a pain in the ass. And the thing is if you saw real blood is so red and so opaque that it looks cartoonish if you actually use real blood on a set.
Oh, all right. Well, that makes sense. My next question was,
you know what it does? It just makes a red blob.
I was about to say, do you ever think about just, using real blood, for fuck's sake? Just slaughter a few pigs and maybe a couple directors you don't like.
And it wouldn't work. It would look cartoonish, and you would go, well, gee, that's really weird that they
Mick, way to stretch fucking realism. That blood looks so big. I killed so many things.
And then I would get called to set again.
But that means there's more pressure when you're doing a scene like your scene, or say the scene in Carrie,
right?
There's a lot of it. I bet there are blood critics out there.
Even to me, the scene of Carrie looks a little bit not like blood, but they got it as close as they could. They really did.
Absolutely. Just drop more on Sissy Spacek. It'll be all right. Fuck, she loves blood.
But the thing is we actually have to use clear. We actually use something that's clear for blood all the time, because if it gets too opaque, it starts to look like, pieces of red paper. I know, it's strange, isn't it? Doesn't make any sense.
Nah, I mean, kind of, but like the thing is, like this is the inside dope that we always, really want to hear, because when I look at blood in movies, I'm like, oh, they just, make blood, but like the problems that go into it, and especially when you have to deal with things like you were just saying, like tubing and riggings and like pumps and other things that go about to make the blood flow. All these things come to be a problem, and so it's interesting to hear that like you're this art designer and production dude, but you're also like an engineer at the same time.
At some point, if you ever really want to just drive yourself nuts, call up a company that does makeup for film and try and order blood, and they go, oh, well, yeah, we have 170 different kinds, so what do you need?
When it comes to Blade, this is probably going to be a little bit controversial, but we'll just pass if you don't want to. There's a few people calling out that Blade is being cancelled or just trying to delete it from history, because they're talking about how Spider-Man is the first sort of Marvel superhero movie to sort of spark what is now the MCU and the kind of progression there. Nobody's talking about Blade.
Not only did I do the first one, I did the second one.
Yeah,
you did the second one too. I fucking do.
No, the second one was Blade. What was the first one? I did Roger Corman's I did Roger Corman's Fantastic Four.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yes, it's on IMDb. I see it right now. See it there.
That's fucking
so.
Amazing.
How do you like that? So you're actually talking to somebody who did 1 and 2.
You single-handedly saved the Marvel Universe and single-handedly destroyed the Marvel Universe. You're like Thanos.
I sucked that fucker, and then I raised it back up.
They can't get that movie right, though. They can't seem to get that. What is it about that movie, Fantastic Four, that they just can't seem to let it land?
You know what? Here's the problem with that movie, and it's really simple, is it has 4 leads.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the new MCU, like the way with Kevin Feige and all that stuff, I think they're going to do better with the new Fantastic Four, just because he seems to have a real grasp on what story he wants to tell and how he wants people to portray themselves. I think it might do better. I think.
I have you seen the latest Suicide Squad?
Yes.
No. I did.
I have. Yes.
Now I know that's a DC and all, but boy, that's one of the best.
The way I described it is when you're a kid and you had an action figure in each hand and you just bashed them together. Amazing. Give us that.
That's it. That's exactly that one.
You didn't cram the figures up your ass like I did as a kid. What were you doing? I was like, Bat Cave time.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Wait a minute. The figures got crammed up an ass.
There's a bit of giant starfish, that's for sure.
Hey, that's what brothers are for.
Okay, so we are running a little bit short on time, but I gotta ask, because it's the season and you are an expert in the field. Give us some recommendations for some horror movies that we should be watching this season, Mick.
Oh,
Candyman.
Yeah, Candyman is on your Blade.
The original Candyman was amazing.
Yeah, it is. Have you seen the remake?
I have not seen the new one.
I hear good things.
I do know that the remake of the Mortal Kombat was pretty weak, except for the first 10 minutes.
That first 10 minutes was dope as fuck. The rest of it wasn't that great.
Yeah,
me and Alex actually said the same thing. We're like, dude, what a great start.
What the fuck have you done to Reptile? Why have you done that? What the fuck?
There is a secret little movie that hardly anybody knows about that is just so fucking cool that I like to recommend all the time. It's called Dave Made a Maze. Have you seen it?
No. What's it about?
It is a perfect Halloween film. And let me say this is when you begin to watch it, you're going to go, well, what the fuck is it? At least stick around until the Muppets come out.
What?
I'm just saying, you have to watch. This is a Halloween. To me, this would be a Halloween favorite because it's a horror film where the only blood that you see is actually made out of yarn.
Oh, that's fucking amazing. Oh my God. When was this made?
It was, I think it was made maybe 4 years ago.
Okay.
It's really cool. Of course,
let's do it.
And of course, my other favorite right now, and it just has been for a while, is What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes,
that film. Excellent. I'm not a huge fan of the TV show, but the film itself was amazing.
I love a TV show. I quote it all the time.
I like them both. I think they're excellent. It's such a funny fucking concept, dude. I like it a lot.
Oh, it is great. The scene in the kitchen where they're fighting and they start to fly up as they're fighting and they're just flying over the kitchen table. You know, it's like fuck,
yeah.
Or the scene where he opens the door. And he's like back upside down, fucking like two women, and then all of a sudden the door shuts and he opens it up again, and he's just standing right there. Right? Like, what the hell? I mean, that's attention to bizarre detail right there.
There's the Muppets one as well. The Muppets have done the Haunted House, haven't they? They just released it on Disney Plus.
Well, there you go.
What?
See, 2 films with Muppets.
There you go.
Fucking A. Mick, man, I gotta say, dude, you are always like one of my favorite guests of all time, just because you are so full of life, you are so vibrant, you're such a funny dude, you have so much interesting shit to say. You're not just like the normal guest, and that's not to disparage any of the other guests that
you have to think to yourself of the trail. I mean, whenever I'm on one of your shows, the trail of bodies that's behind me. Chuck Russell.
Yeah, it's Chuck Russell.
Know, the Kyoto brothers.
Many people died to be on the show, Tom. I'm just saying, right, be grateful.
You know what?
That's very amazing.
We got you, man. We got you.
Yeah, Mick. Whenever there's an opportunity to have you back on, my friend, I gotta say the door is always open because like you are just one of the funnest people to speak to in the world. Is there anything that you'd like to fucking promote before we head out?
Promote. Let's see. I'm doing a show. I'm doing a Canadian show that I can't think of the name of. I'm doing another show here coming up. It's a vampire film.
Is it Campfire?
Wait a minute.
Sorry.
It's called Fear of the Night. That's coming up. That's coming up in February. Campfire is coming up past that. I just rewrote one of the stories for Campfire.
Is it an anthology?
It is an anthology, and it started with it started with the guy hanging the hook guy, right? You know, with on the window and all the rest of that, and I just discovered a new twist to it. It was hiding in my brain.
Was it? You're like, what would I do, Chuck Russell? Oh, I know, Windows.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Yeah.
That's very hilarious.
But I also have another film coming up next summer that I'm directing called The House in the Pines. So there's all kinds of stuff happening. It's, we're getting rolling again after Donald Trump's destruction of the entire fucking world.
Yeah. Fucking you also have a fantastic book.
I have a book. I forget about the book all the time. I have a book called Behind the Screams. You can it's incredibly hard to get a hold of. I will sell people a copy of it, but they actually have to actually get a hold of me on Messenger. Yeah. And sometimes that can be a challenge because I'm 130,000 people behind on friends requests. So you just literally have to just DM me. If you actually can get a hold of me, I will sell you a book and I will insult the shit out of you. Yes, I have a podcast.
Put me down for a copy. I'd love one on payday though. Payday. Wait till payday because I'm broke.
Well, there you go. You know how to get a hold of me now.
I do.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you send
Mick a dick pic and you send him the things that you want.
No. Don't even joke with that shit.
Hey, wait. I'm an artist. I want a dick rendering. I
want a dick silk pressing.
Yeah, you have to send a dick. You have to send a dick rendering, preferably in color, but even a tasteful pencil.
Yes. Shadow.
Just a skull with a dick running through it.
I also have my own podcast, or it's called Dream Warrior Review, and it's been going on for so fucking long now. I mean, I think we're in like 350 episodes or something like that.
Jesus Christ, Mick!
I know
that's a lot.
It's like we will actually review anything. Excellent. I mean, any goddamn thing.
It's hilarious.
324 episodes. Amazing. What a congratulations.
Like, this is the poop I took earlier. We're going to review it. Fucking now, if in terms of like viscosity, it's not very thick. If I could show you the slides of the blood from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3 compared to Blade.
Well, yeah, but you know what? The thing is you get old enough and you get enough hemorrhoids, you get poop and blood, and you have to judge them separately.
2 different labs. Tell me what's wrong with me, guys.
It reminds me of that Cheech and Chong skit.
That's
touch.
Cheech and Chong. Yeah, Cheech and Chong get older.
Mick, you've been amazing. Thank you so much for coming back on. And
hey, literally anytime. You know, I have no idea who I am or what I am, but if people request me on Messenger, you know, I'll come along for the ride.
I find it funny the things that you say in real life are the things I say when I'm on mushrooms. I'm like, I don't know who I am or what I am, but I'm something.
You know, I've always been this guy in real life. I always been. Somebody asked me one time. They say things like, "Oh, I wish I would have said this," and I go, "You know, honestly, I got to tell you the truth. I never ever said that. I never walked away from a situation going, "Oh, I wish I'd said that," because I'm the guy. I'm that guy. I said it.
I think that is honorable. The best note to I think that's the best note to leave off on. All right, Mick. So what we generally do now is we let our guests leave. Me and Alex are gonna bullshit for a couple more seconds before we get out of here ourselves.
Is this gonna be private? Fine.
Yeah, it is private. It's private.
Then
it's private.
I'm gonna leave the studio. See you guys.
I want to talk about Ted Lasso and American football's coming to the UK this weekend. So just for 10 minutes or so.
Why do you? Ladies and gentlemen, Mick Strawn.
He's gone.
He's trolling us still. This is what he does. Mick's a fucking expert troller. I swear to God. Okay. Now that we're in this mode, let's hail a taxi, please. Uber.
Taxi. Look at that. I'm getting better at that. Sorry, Mick. Oh, man. I feel like we hurt his feelings. You know what I mean?
No.
Clean the stripper pole and everything as well.
Mick doesn't have feelings. Mick's feelings are fucking like, is there more blood that should be involved in this? Or Mick's feelings are, how am I going to troll this motherfucker to death? Fucking, it's.
I don't know. Drink from the bar.
Yeah. Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Very impressive. Do you tip your waitress?
Like, bring me the whole thing every 5 minutes until we pass the fuck out.
So American football is coming to where or for what?
Okay, so they're doing away games. They're doing like UK NFL UK. So I think it's.
I saw that. That's
tomorrow they're playing at Wembley.
Now, with this in mind, are you going to try to go catch one of these games? Not this year, probably, because they're very expensive. But is that something you do in the future?
So for my birthday this year, my wife bought me Foo Fighters tickets. But the first thing she went for were NFL tickets because she knows how much I love it. But they're gone in minutes.
Oh yeah,
minutes. They're gone.
Seconds.
And what we've got New Jersey. For God's sake, New York Jets versus Atlanta Falcons this Sunday. Which should be good because they're both shit. I mean, Atlanta's definitely going to destroy the Jets, I think, because it's the Jets, for fuck's sake.
I'd be very disappointed if you made it to a Green Bay Packers game before I did, because I live in America. We're the home of football. And if you made it to a real game before I did, I'd be like, damn it, the Brit fucking beat me again.
I wouldn't mind going to a Packers game, to be fair. I don't mind them at all. This is the thing with my NFL journey. I haven't settled on a team yet. I've got a few like different hats and stuff I wear. I just love the thing as a whole, right? But I'm starting to find my favorites now. And A-Rod's up there. Don't worry, A-Rod's up there. Yeah. I like Kamara. I like the guy because obviously I'm sort of focusing on the Cardinals this year. That's kind of just where my focus is, not where I'm supporting. And watching them as a team with their new quarterback and stuff, it's been a great journey. I'm trying to get myself on some NFL podcasts and stuff because I'm a guy on the other side of the pond that's kind of just learning about the game. Do you know what I mean? So like sampling that atmosphere and being at a game is what I've always dreamed of. And, we've got family in Miami. So Kaz is always like, if we can go see a Miami Dolphins game at some point, we could go see our uncle, that'd be quite cool.
Fucking yeah, man. But I saw that the other day with they were playing in the UK. I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome. Like, what a good way to like extend the sport than to give it to a culture that, you know, they are aware of it, obviously, but that's not their sport of choice. It's obviously your sport choice is football. And ours is football. Really quickly, because we were kind of bullshitting. Is there anything else you want to say about the football in the UK?
No, just that everybody that's going, I hope you behave yourselves, and you know, I hope you enjoy it.
Imagine like the football hooligans that are going to be involved in that, dude. Fucking be nuts.
I don't think so, man. I think it'll be a really good atmosphere. I mean, the general consensus I get from the NFL fans over here in the UK is that everybody's. I mean, there is the banter and stuff. There are those that try a little bit too hard and come across as a bit of a dick. But when I've been at like Super Bowl, say like Hickories and stuff, it's just a nice electric atmosphere. If you've got an opposite set of fans, they're not going to get into arguments and stuff. They're just going to enjoy the game. It's really nice. I think it's great.
I hope. Otherwise, they're going to burn the place down. Fucking football. It's football.
I've been doing something. I don't want to sort of. Me and Timmy have been watching the Spider-Man movies.
I saw that. Fucking, you're trying to end by Christmas, right?
Yeah, we're going to end by Christmas by No Way Home, and then we'll go and watch it at the cinema together as a family. And you know, I've been constantly like every time we watch one, I'll be like, "What's your favorite? Still, what's your favorite?" His worst one, by the way, is the first one. He's like, "It's way too long." Coming from the mind of a 6-year-old.
It's a long movie, man. And there's only so much Spider-Man in it. That's the other problem. Is like the other ones are jam-packed with Spider-Man. This one's kind of like the introduction of it all.
Yeah. I mean, Kirsten Dunst like see-through top in the rain.
Yeah,
he's 6 though. He's 6.
You'll realize one day, like, Spider-Man 1's my favorite. It's my absolute favorite one, Dad. I'm gonna kiss a girl upside down.
It's an interesting journey. But I'm going to watch Venom with him. Do you reckon Venom's okay to watch with? I won't let him watch it on his own, but obviously.
Yeah, I mean, like I pick my battles. Like I let my daughter watch horror movies depending on what's rated R4. I don't really particularly like nudity to show her, which is so weird. It's such a weird thing that I have going on. But if there's nudity in it, I don't want to watch it with her. Yeah, obviously for my comfortability as well. But if there's just some blood and some swearing, I'm cool with it. So I think it being a Marvel movie on top of everything else, superhero, and Venom's a big part of Spider-Man lore, I think it's okay to let him watch.
I'm gonna have a look to see what it's at. I mean, it might be a little bit scary. I don't know though. Is it to say it's a 15 or is it rated R? I don't know.
It's rated R.
Okay, so that's like Deadpool sort of rating. Okay, we'll see.
So I almost got in a fight with a child the other day.
Yeah, we were talking about this before we hit record. I thought we need to hear more about this behind the microphone. So why did you nearly punch an 11-year-old, Tom?
Well, because he was telling me about my business, and he was like, I watched
my shit.
He's like, I watched the Karate Kid the other day, blah blah, and I was like, oh, which one, the original or the remake? He's like, the original. I was like, oh, well, okay. And he started describing the remake. He's like, you know, they went to China. I was like, that's the remake. He's like, no, it's not. I'm like, yeah, it is. I'm like, the original came out in like 1983 or 4 or something along those lines, you know, Daniel San and all that. And he's like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking punch you right now. Fucking like, where do you get the guff? And I half respected it because I'm like, okay, you should question authority, right? You should never just take the word of somebody. But I asked him, like, you don't believe me? He's like, no. And I'm like, all right, well, then I pull out the internet on his ass and I was like, look at this and fucking all that jazz. So at the same point in time, I respect him for his fucking his choice to not respect my authority. At the same point in time, it's like, dude, this is what I do. I talk about this shit. I wouldn't watch this movie before you were fucking sperming your dad's balls.
Is that a point he responds with fake news? Then you drag him and beat the shit out of his parents in front of him and make him watch.
That's hilarious. Fucking no, I kept my cool. I was like, all right, you know, whatever. And I just proved it to him. But it made me laugh a little bit that I got so uppity about being told that they don't believe me. I'm like, what do you fucking mean don't believe me?
It's hilarious. You were just talking as well before we hit record. I think it's really important to talk about before we get out of here is that Squid Game TV show that everybody's watching at the moment. Yep. And you know, there seems to be a lot of pressure to make people watch it, right? Yeah. And me and you have both had the same responses. I'll get there when I fucking get there, right? Yep. Calm your fucking tits, right? I don't like being pressured to watch shit, right? I just don't.
No, I don't respond to it. And the fact is, like, it looks fine. It looks fine. Like, I have no issues with the movie as a whole, but I've seen movies that are similar to this. So it's not like, it's like, oh my God, revolutionary, groundbreaking, never been seen before. It's like, I've seen it. so I'll get there. But because it looks great.
And also, I'm not being racist or anything, but I can't do with dubbed shit. So I'll have to find a time when I can be free to sort of put all my energy into a subtitled movie, which I don't mind because it's great. Some subtitled movies have been great for me, but I can't be doing as a joke. We threw on this Spanish movie, I think it was yesterday, and obviously it was dubbed over, and they were like, "Hi, how are you? Yeah, no way! I can't believe you did that."
Was it Dora the Explorer?
I can't do it.
I don't know. Like it'll be fine. Eventually, I'm gonna send you a joint in the mail. That's how I'm gonna do it. I'll be like, here you go. Let's say you get past the dub shit, and you'd be like, Tom, I figured out fucking dub movies rock. It's so interesting.
The worst thing is when I found out that Paw Patrol was dubbed in the UK.
Yeah,
I watched the American version. I was like, what the fuck's happening?
Well, that happened with me with the Wonder Pets and with a couple other things. Like, you guys always get it first, and then I'm like, oh, it's American. I'm like, oh no, it's not American. What the fuck? Fucking. All right, fucking. Let's. Is there anything you're excited to watch horror movie wise this week by chance?
I feel bad that I didn't watch Candyman last night like I was meant to, because obviously Mick worked on Candyman, and I should have watched it. I was kind of like, I want to watch Ted Lasso instead. But I want to finish it because
I don't blame you.
It's there. And Ted Lasso is, by the way, season 2 is very clever, very brilliant, and very British. I think it's good. It's amazing. But I wish TV series would stop ending with like half a fucking episode. You get the other half in like 6 months or so. Off you fuck. Like no, like when someone suffers from anxiety like me, or and you build yourself up through this episode. Is something bad going to happen? Oh my god, it really affects you, and then it just fucking and then you've got to wait for it. I mean, Stranger Things has done that to me for the last fucking 18 months, 2 years, or however long it's been.
Oh, I know, right? When the fuck are they coming back? God damn it!
Well, what the fuck's happened to the guy? Is he in Russia? Is he dead? What the fuck's going on? Like,
he's in Mick Strawn's anus is where he is. Fucking,
he ended up in Russia with Scarlett Johansson.
Fucking A, man. Okay, so we have a website. It's USUKnetwork.com, and that's where you can find all the things that are USUK. This show included What's the Difference with Al and Tom, where we bring on amazing guests like fucking Mick Strawn over there, and we bring people on. We kind of bullshit. We figure out stuff as we go along. It's a good fucking show, man. We have a good time every week, and that's every single Saturday. We release on Mondays. We have Yelling Out Clouds with the amazing Eric Pfluger and Alex Whiteley, where Eric essentially just Alex winds Eric up and he just lets him go, and he backs up into the corner, and then eventually Eric stops yelling at him. It's a very, very
kind of. I mean, he spends a lot of time writing notes and sending me pictures, and it's very good. If you want to learn about the artistic importance of, I don't know, movies like Star Trek: The Motion Picture, or The Founder, or something like that, he's very good at taking artistic things out of the general things you see and explaining the importance of them all. So Yelling Cows, good for that.
And we have another show called Wednesday Night Live, which we bring to you every Wednesday, which is generally me and Alex, and always joined by our good friend and partner of the network, Mr. David Raby. And essentially, it's a chat at the pub. It's a really good time. We deep dive on stuff. We do it all off the cuff, and we just have a great fucking time. And all these things can be found on USUKnetwork.com. And while you're looking at USUKnetwork.com and you say, hey man, these guys built a really great website, look how nice it is. You don't thank us, thank the good people over at WebOrchard.com. WebOrchard.com, they are a business that builds websites. That's what they do. They don't make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. They make fucking websites.
Yeah, they do.
And if you have like a social media and you're like, you sell things or you promote yourself or whatever it might be, you're probably getting the outreach that's good, but you can make it a lot better. And what tells people that you're ready for the next fucking step is a website. So reach out to the guys over at WebOrchard.com and tell them that the USUK boys sent you.
Amazing.
Thanks,
amazing.
Only half as amazing as you are.
By the way, the content, I know this is going to be going out sort of 3 weeks after we've recorded this. So if I've done it already, here you go. But we're looking at repurposing the Pod Aid content. So obviously we did 24-hour long shows running to 8 separate streams, right? So I'm going to split all them up so you'll be able to go out and enjoy that content. But I want to sort of say to you guys, thank you for everybody that sort of supported us, all the guests that came on. You guys are fantastic. And also for this YouTube channel, please subscribe. If you've watched this video, you've enjoyed it, at least subscribe to the fucking YouTube channel. Share the video. Yep, tell people about it. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell your gran. Fuck it, she might enjoy the show. You know what I mean?
Tell your enemies. Sick us on your enemies.
Yeah. Like, oh, look at these fucking idiots. You know?
We'll berate them forever. We'll be like, hey, enemy of my friend, how dare you?
That's a great idea, by the way. If you would like us to insult someone for you, just send us a target and we'll find the most creative ways to insult someone, you know? Okay. I don't mind calling someone a knob jockey on a show. Fuck it, let's do it.
It's fucking amazing.
Fucking knob jockey. Right. This has been What's the Difference podcast. I've been Alex Whiteley.
And I'm Tom Bruno.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Hi, this is Ickis from Our Real Monsters. And I would like very much to ask you, if you don't mind, to watch the USUK Network with Tom Bruno and Alex Whiteley. Oh, that's all. I have to go flush myself now.